Welcome back to Blue Jays Today, where today, guys, it is our first live stream covering the trade deadline. Yesterday, we had a couple rumors that came out that linked the Blue Jays to some names and by some actual people that are in the industry that are trusted. Not just, hey, maybe this guy could go there kind of articles, or maybe this guy would be a great fit over here. No, some actual rumblings that the Blue Jays are targeting players, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to bring up who those players are, break down whether or not we think it's going to be a good fit for the Jays, what would they cost, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And as well, if you have any questions or you have any kind of, questions or suggestions in terms of like who the Blue Jays should go out and get, submit it to our mailbag down below. I've got it in the description. If you want to go check out or send in a question, I'll bring it up here on the stream. And I believe it's in the description. Yes, it is. It is. Go check it out, guys. Submit your question. I'll bring it up on the stream. Just doing a little solo stream right here. Nick's out golfing. I'm going out golfing tomorrow, so maybe he'll do a solo stream or something like that tomorrow. But whenever there's any sort of rumbling, any sort of rumor out there of the Blue Jays being linked to somebody, or the Blue Jays targeting somebody, or Blue Jays calling about somebody, we're going to go live. And we're going to talk about it because we want to be your number one destination for Blue Jays news and updates. So please, if you haven't done so already, the 78, 83 of you guys in here, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. What's up, Drew Gamer? What's up, Talon Pottle? Lynn Drawing Channel. That's what's up. Welcome back. Talon Pottle, 10 dimes. Daniela, what's going on? Ben, Dominic, what is going on? Today's been a good day, ladies and gentlemen. Got up at like 6:30 this morning, was on CP24. Love the guys from CP24, don't get me wrong, but my goodness, early, especially when there's late baseball games. We're watching a game last night, getting up early. It was like immediately, boom, we're going to bed, and then boom, we're waking up and we're going back at it. But that's trade deadline season, baby, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Drew saying, Adam, I got some BNF stuff that I just sent to the mailbag. There we go. Facts. I will definitely pull that up at the end of this podcast. I'll do a little bit of a Q&A. So please, guys, send in your questions. First things first, let's get to it feels like this guy is the dude. And if I were to bet we're going to get anybody this trade deadline, it feels like we're going to get this guy. It's Mitch Keller. He's on the thumbnail. I made a short talking about him. We talked about him countless times. It feels like Mitch Keller's the dude the Blue Jays are really looking at, and it feels like it's going to be the best fit. And don't just take my word for it. Take it right here from Noah Hiles from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. This is where it's coming from. Blue Jays are among teams, and can you guys all see this? Yes, you can. The Blue Jays are among teams to contact the Pirates about right-hander Mitch Keller. There's your update. The Blue Jays have got on the phone. They said, hi, hello, we'd like Paul Skeens. They said, nah. And they're like, okay, how about Mitch Keller? I'm hoping that's what the conversation went like. It should always start when you're calling the Pittsburgh Pirates. Go, hey, just checking in on Paul Skeens. Still available? No? Cool. Here's how about Mitch Keller? You know, it's not. It's like one of ththose things where it's like, you know, you joke around with your friends and you're like, oh, like, one of your friends makes a lot of money. I have one of those friends that does that. And you're like, oh, drinks on you tonight, right? You know it's gonna be a no, but the odd chance they're like, hell yeah, bottles on me. You're like, okay, word. We're listening. That's what it is for Paul Skeens. But you're like, all right, no, just kidding. We're gonna split the bill. Let's get Mitch Keller. That's the example right here. Mitch Keller, Blue Jays calling in about him. Now, a lot of people have kind of been like saying, and I put it out here in the poll, because I know a lot of people are split on this, whether Mitch Keller would be the, quote, all-in move or not. Personally, I like Mitch Keller. Don't get me wrong. I think Mitch Keller is a solid pitcher, and he's the type of pitcher that I'd want the Jays to go out and get if it was like, let's say, the offseason. You know, we need someone to fill the rotation. Let's get him for a 3-year deal, good contract. We know he can give you innings. He can give you 6-7 innings. Literally like Chris Bassett. Like, that's that type of move. And I give him a lot of comparisons to Chris Bassett. That's what Mitch Keller feels like to me. But for a trade, the reason why it feels very expensive and underwhelming is because you're going to have to pay a lot to get this guy because he's on such a good deal. And I'm going to flash it over right here. He's signed until 2029, folks. 2029. So after this season, you get 3 more years of Mitch Keller. A 5-year, $77 million deal. That's really, really good. I mean, someone do the math right there. Geez, what's the math? That's less than $20 million per year, ladies and gentlemen. Way less than $20 million. Like, way less. God, what the hell's the math? 15 point, like, 33, something like that. That's a really good deal for average annual value for what Mitch Keller does. Right now he's pitching for a 3.53 ERA with a whip of 1.160. That's solid. And when I look at his game logs too, I know he can give me innings. Look at the last few game logs from this guy. 6 innings, 6 2/3, 7, 5 1/3, 5 2/3, 6 1/3, 6 7, 6 5. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is actually a dude that can, if you want someone rolling out there who's going to save your bullpen, get you to the postseason, Mitch Keller is that type of guy. He feels like a very good regular season type of pitcher. Now, the one thing is, like, well, is he a good postseason pitcher? We really don't know, because he's been playing for the Pirates for the last, 6 years been playing for the Pirates? We don't know what he's going to be in the postseason. Plus, this is the best season he's ever had of 353, which you could make a direct comparison. It's like, okay, well, that's Chris Bassett when he's at his best, and that's Jose Barrios any given year. We already have those type of guys. So, is anyone really going to get knocked down the totem pole? Well, if you're trading for Mitch Keller and he is pitching like this, then, let's say it's a wild card series. Let's say, for whatever reason, Blue Jays slow down, we miss out on the division, and we got to play in a wild card. I would say at this rate, if he keeps pitching like this, Mitch Keller would definitely start in one of those 3 games. Like, you traded for him, right? Jose Barrios in one of those games, Kevin Gausman one of those games. Chris Bassett's been doing well lately. Maybe he squeaks in, but Mitch Keller's on your roster. You're trading for that for sure. No doubt about it. If you're trading for Mitch Keller, you're putting him on your roster. But yeah, he's not that guy that's going to command a game 1 start. Like, we know that for sure. He's not commanding game 1. He might fall somewhere in between. And plus, it's a good fit, because when you look at the Blue Jays rotation, right, and you're looking at who's in it, you've got Jose Barrios, Kevin Gausman, Max Scherzer, and Chris Bassett. We have 4 dudes in there, and Eric Lauer. Shout out to Eric Lauer, the power of Lauer. Maybe he squeaks in that rotation. You never know. Honestly, we kind of not joked about it. We're like kind of half looking at it a while ago. Eric Lauer making a start in a wild card series. I mean, I don't know how you keep this guy off the roster. He literally has the best ERA. But regardless, looking down the stretch at this rotation, adding a guy like Mitch Keller who can give you 6 innings, 7 innings, 6 1/3, 6 2/3, any given night, and he's been very consistent with it, any given night, that's huge for A, helping the bullpen stay healthy and rested, and B, helping these older veteran guys get some rest. And also, playoffs alone and postseason alone, Mitch Keller with 3 more years on your deal kind of replenishes the whole rotation. It's less about getting a game 1 starter, right, and getting that guy to be the dominant ace of the rotation. And it's actually more of a play to reset the rotation a little bit. Because after this season, you're obviously, there's no Max Scherzer. I think we can all agree, and we can all would definitely say Max Scherzer, we don't really want him back at this point. I mean, he's getting older, and he's not pitching that great, right? You're hoping that he was going to pitch in great spots like against the Yankees, and hasn't really been that good. And then you got Chris Bassett on the leave, right? Excuse me. So those are 2 guys leaving, and then you got Kevin Gausman leaving the year after. So you do need somebody to go and fill out the rotation. But that's why I kind of said it. That's why it feels like more like an off-season type of move and less of a trade deadline type of move, where you're going to have to give up a lot just to get that contract with Mitch Keller. But, overall, team, I wouldn't be upset at all with the Blue Jays getting Mitch Keller. In fact, I'd be very happy. I mean, this guy will fill out the rotation and will help the team have a chance to win any given night this season. Absolutely. Will help us get there. But you're right. You're right if you're thinking this way. And I think I'm right. He's not a game 1 starter or a difference maker in that rotation. But, are you comfortable with that if you're the Blue Jays walking into the postseason, knowing that you basically just traded for another 2 or 3 pitcher, in terms of ranking in the rotation? Are you okay with that? Potentially. I mean, when I look at, as well, the LA Dodgers, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, Chad, and you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. When I think about the LA Dodgers and how they won the World Series last year, yeah, their offense was amazing, and you're going to have amazing offense to win the World Series regardless, so that's a given. But you looked at that pitching staff, and they had Yoshinobu Yamamoto, they had Walker Buehler, who was literally a shell of himself and still is a shell of himself. I mean, can't you? That's a compliment, because himself is so gone. I don't even know I think this is himself now. I digress. You had those two guys, and then you had Jack Flaherty, who I believe wasn't pitching at his best at the time. But the main thing that that team, the LA Dodgers, had was that bullpen. That bullpen is what carried them through. Like, you'd get 5 or 4 innings out of those 3 dudes, and then it'd be bullpen. And then they had bullpen days. They literally had bullpen days, and they'd win those games in the postseason. So, you could make an argument. I'm just playing devil's advocate with you guys and myself. Hey, maybe you don't need an ace. I know that's crazy because I've been saying it, and I would love one. But right now, looking at the trade market, there isn't an ace really available. I mean, sure, could you offer up the world to the Twins and try and get Joe Ryan? Sure, but I don't know if you're going to win that race that bidding war if Joe Ryan was available. Jeff Passan, I want to bring this up as well, who also, by the way, linked the Blue Jays with Mitch Keller and said that they're going to go all in. So, but this is more of a link thing and a best fit kind of thing, and he's kind of with us in that mindset. But he mentions here, Toronto's farm system, though it has improved, absolutely, definitely better than last year, when you consider the deadline trades we made, when you consider the development of Trey Savage and Arjun Amala, it has improved, but it doesn't have quite the heft that other farm systems have. So even if Joe Ryan was available, you're not going to get him. Also, by the way, folks, I forget where it was. I think somebody said this. I forget where it was, so don't quote me on this. But I think the Twins are looking for 2 top 100 level prospects, 2 top 100 ranked MLB prospects for a Johan Duran or a Griffin Jax. So if you're looking at the Blue Jays system, we only have 2. It's Arjun Amala and Trey Savage. Yeah, I bet all of you are right now thinking, oh, God, no way am I paying that for only 1 more year of control of a very, very dominant bullpen guy. But you're not going to punt that kind of future. I would be there right in the same boat. So if that's the asking price for those guys, yes, that's correct. Thank you, Drew Gamer. If that's the asking price for those guys, then no. No, I'm not. Oh, is Drew Parker also a top 100? Did I miss that? I'll go check it out. I'll check it after. But yeah, no, I mean, Joe Ryan's asking price is going to be 3, 4 of those dudes. Like, I don't know if I'm punting all those guys for one guy. I don't know. But anyway, someone will outbid the Blue Jays because the Blue Jays wouldn't do that. So with all that being said, folks, I think we have to kind of shift, and I'm going to kind of shift with this mindset too, that the Blue Jays aren't going to necessarily get a ace that's going to lift up the rotation. Like, the Milwaukee Brewers have the best record in baseball, or at least they did 2 days ago. I don't know if they still do. You're not going to pry Jacob deGrom off the Rangers, who are literally getting hot right now and trying to play in the playoffs. It's too much money to ask for a Joe Ryan. Like, who else is really out there that commands that? Maybe Adrian Hauser on the White Sox, but really, are you going to put that guy game 1 over everybody else? So with all that being said, folks, Mitch Keller feels like the guy that you can make a trade for, and probably you would get. It is within your price range, and it would help you down the stretch of the season. It might help you in the playoffs, and it will certainly help you with that rotation later on, when next year you're looking at, assuming he's healthy, Alek Manoah, Mitch Keller, if he's added in there, obviously Jose Barrios, Kevin Gausman, and then who, right? We don't really know. So Eric Lauer, maybe we sign him back, but probably not. He's probably going to hit free agency, but that at least solves a lot of question marks in that rotation. So Mitch Keller is a dude. I guess before we move on, because I do want to sprinkle a little bit more, I guess, positive thoughts when you think about Mitch Keller. He is the Chris Bassett comp. I said that a little bit earlier. I said that in a short earlier today. He is the Chris Bassett comp. He's Chris Bassitt, but younger. 29 years old. He has 6 different pitches. The four-seamer, the sweeper, the slider, the sinker, the curve, the change. He's got quite the arsenal of pitches, and he only throws about 94, so a little bit faster than a Chris Bassitt. But what he does really well is he commands the fastball. He throws it in good spots, and this year he's been throwing it a lot better. As you can see, it's a big tick up here from 30% last year to 35, almost 36% last year. And you can see why that fastball value is phenomenal. It's at 12 run value. Last year was at 3. So I guess there's been some sort of adjustment. You can really see that in terms of just the pitch mixes. You can see the pitches in terms of movement have kind of stayed the same in terms of vertical movement. So really it's just the usage, and that cutter is practically gone. I mean, he has 7 pitches, but he doesn't really throw the cutter. Chris says, with a good point here, actually, Chris says that he's never had success like Bassitt had, and you're absolutely correct. Maybe this is the start of something to come. We don't know, right? And that you got to factor that in when you are trading for him. This is the first year he's ever done it, and they are going to be trading high, so we'll see. We got 182 people in here. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, folks. Just running a little solo stream today. We're going to kind of be doing these little solo pop-up streams from now until the end of the trade deadline, where we'll be live all day long. So expect a few more of these. I can confirm, out of our usual schedule of streams, we are going to be going live after the Blue Jays game on Sunday when they face Detroit. Breathe. I've been talking for quite a while. We are going to be going live after that game to do a little bit of a night stream, and we're going to be going live on the Wednesday after the Orioles game, which is at like 12:30. We're going to be going live that Wednesday night as well. Chris Seen here saying, with all due respect, this conversation sounds like we're a 500 ball club. If we're not going to go for the ace starter, forget about the deadline and sell for the bullpen. Well, I'll bring up the bullpen just a little bit. But Chris, see, I would encourage you to go out there and look and see if there's anybody available that is an ace starter. There's guys out there that, Jeff Passan has brought up, like, Edward Cabrera getting brought up, but that's going to cost a lot of money. And I would love to go get an Edward Cabrera, absolutely. It might not money, meaning prospect capital. But who else is out there? I mean, you got Zach Gallen, who's not really playing that great, and you got 2 months of him left. Maybe you could go get him. That's an argument. Sandy Alcantara, same deal there, right? Same deal. Merrill Kelly is someone I really do like. I'll bring him up right now, and I do like where Chris C is coming here, answering his own question. Merrill Kelly. I do like Merrill Kelly, right? A 3.32 ERA, whip of 1.057, and he's a free agent after this year. I would like that. I would absolutely like that too. And Chris is saying if we can't get those two, we can't bother with a Project Arm. And I hear what you're saying. Maybe Project Arm. I wouldn't go as far as say he's a Project Arm because he's kind of already been doing it this season. But yeah, I mean, look, Merrill Kelly, a 3.32 ERA. That's definitely the best ERA other than Eric Lauer on our team. I'd be for it. I mean, let's do it, right? And he probably actually wouldn't cost you as much as Merrill Kelly. Right? Or excuse me, their names are so similar, I keep getting them mixed up. As Mitch Keller. Does anyone else mix up Merrill Kelly and Mitch Keller in their mind? Is that just me? But every time someone says Merrill Kelly, I got to really think a moment and think about this page right here. And I'm like, oh, right, that's the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's Pittsburgh Pirates. But he probably would cost less than a Mitch Keller. Also, Scrambles here saying Bubic. Again, if he's available, I don't know if the Royals are going to be just willing to part ways with a Bubic who's got control and they want to be competitive, right? So we'll see. Mitch Keller equal Merrill Kelly, literally in my mind. All right, guys, hit that like, smash, subscribe button. We're going to do another one here, and this one you got to take with a little bit of grain of salt, even though we do follow each other on Twitter. Shout out to our boy Hector Gomez. He linked the Blue Jays to a couple of bullpen guys, and these are actually like very realistic, so I wouldn't think this isn't like a clickbait thing. I'd fully believe that the Blue Jays, were in on these two guys. Hector Gomez came out yesterday and said the source, the Blue Jays are in talks with O's surrounded around relief pitchers Gregory Soto and Sir Anthony Dominguez. And the reason why I say these guys are believable is because Gregory Soto is on a 1 year, right? 2 months left. And Sir Anthony is also on a 1 year with, he's got 2 months left as well. So those guys are easy sells for the Orioles. And honestly, this is a no-brainer. Like, if you could go pick up one of these dudes, that's an easy bullpen fill kind of guy. The Blue Jays, they need to go fill out that bullpen. Now, I want them to get high leverage guys, absolutely, but the likelihood of getting 2 high leverage guys, like 2 elite dudes, like if we're bringing up the Johan Durans of the world, we're probably not going to get 2 of them. We got to be realistic, right? Probably not going to get 2 of those guys. Maybe 1. That'd be awesome. I'm honestly looking at that too right now, because you look at Jeff Hoffman right now, hasn't been playing that great. Yar Rodriguez is a beast. Brendan Little's a pretty good beast. Whip is kind of high though on Little. Fisher been pretty good this season. Then after that, you get into the unknowns, right? You got Chad Green, negative WAR, Tommy Nance. I mean, that's just a filler guy right now. Macy Fluharty, welcome back, kid. He's had some moments, but can't really rely on it. Justin Bruihl, same thing. Had some moments, can't rely on him. So you kind of got, like, I would say 3 spots that are kind of actively coming in and out here with Tommy Nance, Fluharty, and Bruihl. One of those spots, absolutely lock in a closer or some sort of high relief arm with like tons of saves, tons of hold potential. Also, people are saying like Jimmy Garcia, don't forget about him. Absolutely, Jimmy Garcia comes back. You'll find a way to put him in the bullpen. We just don't know when he's coming back. His injury is starting to aggravate a little bit more. It could be an elbow thing, a little bit more than that. So he's there, but I want another dude just for that insurance, because we don't know. Jimmy's injuries are worse than they were last year when he kind of fell off for Seattle and disappeared. So in case of that happening, we need to go get another Jimmy type, 8th inning guy, could close you a game if you really need to. Fishboy not reliable this time. I hear what you're saying. Fishboy hasn't been reliable as of late, but overall the numbers are still good, and he's far from he's far from those guys at the bottom of the totem pole. I guess I'll say that. He's safe for now. But yeah, you want to throw in another dude. That's one. Then you're going to need some depth guys, right? That are cheaper, that are easier to grab, right? You can't just get elites. Let's be realistic. You can't just get all these elite guys. If you did, that'd be A++, Ross Atkins. Thank you very much. So you might entertain a Gregory Soto or Sir Anthony Dominguez. Now, they're not amazing. I mean, they got 0.2 WAR on the season for Gregory Soto, 0.3 WAR on the season for Sir Anthony. Now, I know WAR is different on Fangraphs and Baseball Reference, but just to weekly compare, I mean, that's obviously it's better than Chad Green, right, who's got a full season of work under his belt. Hard to compare Fluharty, but I guess you can if you really want to. He's got 0.1 WAR. So those guys would be filler dudes. And you got Gregory Soto, who is a lefty, gives you another option from the left side. The whip is a lot better than the ERA. I mean, if you take a look at the ERA, you're like, 4.08, that's kind of gross. The whip is not bad at all. The FIP is good. It's got a 340 FIP. So obviously I think he's getting beat up more than what the numbers lead to. You look at his Baseball Savant. What I really love about this is the dude has a 96.7 average mile per hour sinker. That's a lot of good movement. That's pretty nice. I like the fastball velo. And then Sir Anthony Dominguez, similar whip, right? 1.3 ERA, 3.63. And again, you don't really need to look at ERA when you're looking at a relief pitcher. I like to look at the whip. I like to look at the FIPS. He's got a FIP of 3.65. That's nice. And then you look at the velo. Hello. We've been saying for a long time we need a flamethrower in the bullpen. This guy can give you a little bit of flamethrower in action, right? 97.7 average miles per hour. He can hit 100, Sir Anthony Dominguez. That's really exciting. I mean, in comparison, I was thinking about who throws the fastest velocity in our bullpen. Probably would have been Jimmy Garcia, but I'll give you Jeff Hoffman because he's been kind of touching, 98, touched 99 the other day. He's averaging at 96, so this guy is averaging about almost 2 miles per hour more. That'd be nice. Give me a flamethrower from the right side. I'm cool with that if you want to go get Sir Anthony Dominguez. Chris in here saying we can load up the pen and ask our stars to give us 4 solid innings in the playoffs. That's what that's the other thing, right? Like if you want to spend up that capital that you would for an ace, if the ace isn't there, the ace isn't there. The seller's market's going to determine everything. Like when I look back at the David Price year in 2015, like that was there, right? It was obvious. David Price was being talked about as the cream of the crop. Like he was going to be sold. He was on the Tigers team that was really bad. don't know if there's that guy this year, you know what I mean, that can go 8-0 down the stretch and start in a game 1 and 2 situation for the Blue Jays, right? Maybe you just go get a Mitch Keller, and you got Jose Barrios, and you got Kevin Gausman and Bassett and whatever you got from Max Scherzer and Eric Lauer and Alek Manoah, and you just get to the postseason, you load up on the pen, you play a little bit of Dodger baseball. You get it, although better, because you'll have a 6-man rotation. Keep that pen healthy. Fuck, guys. I mean, I feel bad for this bullpen. Like, it's getting worked, man. Look over here. I mean, look at the other night, man. You had Jeff Hoffman go 4 out of 5 games in a row. Like, hello? Yariel, the night before, went 3 out of 4 games. Little 3 out of 4 games. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting beat up, man. They're getting beat up. So I'm cool. I mean, it hasn't blown up in our face so far, right? Like, we've been able to win with this type of rotation and this type of bullpen. Maybe that's just what we do. But guys, those are the latest right now on the Blue Jays. You've got almost said Merrill Kelly. You got Mitch Keller, right, who's being linked, that the Blue Jays have been calling about him. And then you've got Gregory Soto and Sir Anthony Dominguez. The Blue Jays have inquired about them. That is the latest of what we know so far on the trade market. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, we're going to have a little section here for your questions. So I'm going to pull up the questions. I'll kind of take my time here, see what kind of questions we got. Yeah, we got a few questions. Let's go. Absolutely love it. I'm going to pull it up right here. How many do they have in the bullpen? 8 arms? Yeah, 8 arms. But if you're onto a 6-man rotation, then you'll have 7 arms. So maybe you roll with that. We'll see. Okay, yeah, we got this was something right here. I'm bringing up Drew's thing because Drew really wanted me to bring it up. Let me start with Draco first. That'll bring up your thing, Drew, because Draco had a question right in here. And also, guys, if you want to submit your question to the mailbag, go in the description down below. Click on the Google form. You can submit your question there. I'll bring it up. I'll go live for a little bit. And as long as we're chilling and have a good time, I'll bring up your questions. Draco in here saying, excuse me, who would you be more okay with trading away? You Savage or Namala? I think Namala is more expendable because of Parker. Personally, I would say Namala, but not because of that reason, because I don't really know what Parker's going to become. I would say Namala just because your Savage is literally this close away, like this close from breaking into this big league club and joining the rotation probably next year at some point. And like I brought up before, the rotation is turning over. So it would be nice to get you Savage in. I mean, you've got guys like Ricky Tiedemann and Tommy John. Jake Bloss really isn't. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Jake Bloss isn't that good. And he's got Tommy John. Brendan Barriera is coming back for Tommy John. What are you going to get? Like, Alpino, what are you going to get? Like, you really don't know. You Savage feels like the guy for me, so that I want to keep. So probably Namala if someone had to go. So yeah, I would definitely. Also, Drew says I brought this up in a previous mailbag. Sometimes questions circulate. Sometimes they circulate, and listen, guys. It is a massive mailbag that we have, and I'm when I'm live, I'm doing like kind of the producer role, and I'm trying to speak, so I'm kind of my brain's in 2 places. So like, please forgive me if I don't get to some of your questions. I'm literally just like trying to read really quickly at like what I don't even read the full questions. Sometimes you guys send us big questions, and I'm trying to read like kinda what it is, but also I'm trying to speak like I'm literally trying to do right now. Okay, Drew, your question right here is kind of big, so I'm gonna have to make it kind of smaller. Can I please? Hello, I'm gonna have to make it smaller. There we go, got it. All right, this one is from, like I just said, Drew Gamer. That's my stinger music that I just impromptu made. Hello? Oh, whoa, what happened to my screen? Y'all see that? Okay, no, I was tripping. The screen went black. No, see, it's all good. All right, Drew Gaiman here saying BNS on Gate 14 talking about the deadline here are all the noble things he said. Shout out to Drew Gamer and shout out to Gate 14 for bringing him on. Roman Raymond Remy Laureano, Jesus Lord, is a potential right-handed bat depth. Okay. I like it. Yeah, remember probably if we're going to get a right-handed bat, it's not going to be a Eugenio Suarez. It's going to be more of like a coming off the bench veteran type of dude. He doesn't think Arjun is not getting traded. Savage is only for a Ryan type of player, no rental. Okay, so Arjun, he doesn't think Arjun is not getting traded. So you think he's getting traded? That was kind of like a double negative right there. my brain is a double negative. Interesting. Because, yeah, if we are going to go all in, it feels like Namala is the dude, right? Johnny King has become the new Tiedemann that everyone loves. He is also untouchable. Yeah, Johnny King, we haven't really given him a lot of love on this show. Low-key, looking at the stats, very nice. I mean, we're talking about Savage. Like, this dude's not that far off, if you really think about it, when you look at the stats. So, maybe he becomes a little untouchable. I like it. Chris says King got moved up, immediately getting hit. I mean, those are growing pains, right? Like, I think just same thing with Savage. The growing pains are there. So we got to give him a little bit more time. Maybe. Sorry, my bad. He said he doesn't think Namala is getting traded. Oh, okay. He doesn't think Namala is getting traded, is what Ben Smith says. I will say this, too, and we've had Ben on the show, and I've read all of his stuff. Ben always likes to play on the conservative side of things. In terms of like, this won't happen, which, yeah, more times than not, Arjun Namala is not getting traded. Because what would Arjun Namala command? A really high return, right? Like if you're going to package Mitch Keller and David Bednar, for example, yeah, like that's Arjun Namala right there. Like, that's what it'll be. So Arjun Namala getting traded would signify a blockbuster, right? So basically what you're saying is, are the Blue Jays going to pull off a blockbuster? Ben Nicholson Smith says no. So there you go. That's what he's saying. Last thing here. Jays are familiar with Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Arizona, so trades for those teams are expected like Bednar or Kelly. So there you go. We're in the realm of Merrill Kelly and Mitch Keller. Absolutely. And I completely agree. Like, those do feel like those type of teams that we are going to trade with. Kwan's a kind of interesting guy. We never really talked about Kwan. No, Nick talked about Kwan a little bit on his video today. That's an interesting dude as well that I could totally see. Maybe they flirt with that idea. I mean, hell, I thought we were never going to get Andres Jimenez, and then we go out and we just make a trade for Andres Jimenez. More defense. Same thing with Kwan. It's like, do we really need more defense? Although Kwan, a much better bat. I'm going to pull up another question, guys. If you want to submit to the mailbag, go to the description down below. I'll pull up your questions. Let me look at this one. It's Google form, guys. Submit it down there. Oh, okay. All right, Ben in here coming in with a little bit of a trade deadline proposal. What would bring it from an A- to an A? Okay, here we go. You guys let us know. Ben putting himself on the line right here. Let me get this a little bigger so y'all can see. There we go. Ben. Boom, boom. We're cooking. We're cooking, chat. All right, here we go. Ben in here saying 3 trades that I think would make for an A- to A deadline. Okay, word. Let's see it. Trade 1, Cade Smith for Tiedemann and Roden. Let's do our research, shall we? Let's look at Cade Smith. Cade Smith for Tiedemann and Roden. Cade Smith, Canadian shutout, Abbotsford. On the Guardians, right? A little bit of a trade relationship there. You got him until 2030, right? And he's the relief pitcher. 3.12 ERA, whip of 1.223. I like it. What's Cade Smith's stuff look like? Let's pull it up. I'm not gonna pretend like I know all these dudes off by heart. Holy moly. A nice 96 mile per hour heater. Beautiful. Wow, beautiful fastball. Okay. Cade Smith. What do you guys think? Ricky Tiedemann and Alan Roden for Cade Smith? I think I might do that. I think I might. Definitely Tiedemann for Smith. Because I don't know what Tiedemann's going to get me. We'll see. Trade 2. Bednar for Aurelvis Martinez. Not bad. Elvis Martinez got nowhere to go, folks. Honestly, I'm off the Elvis Martinez train. Barger's him. DH spot's going to be clogged up for a long time. Dude got caught with PEDs. Hasn't been himself. Time to hop off the Elvis Martinez train. Trade him away from Dave Bender. Absolutely. Trade 3. Zach Gallen for Pavin Smith. Oh, sorry. Zach Gallen and Pavin Smith for Jake Bloss, who's got Tommy John, by the way. Don't know if they'll be trading for him. That's the thing with these guys like Tiedemann and Bloss. Like, they got Tommy John. Like, their value is not that high. For Lope Fido and Peyton Williams, I don't know if that trade will get it done, though, my friend. I'm like Zach Gallen. They could definitely get somebody a lot better than Jake Bloss and Lope Fido for Zach Gallen. Yeah. They could definitely get some. Yeah, I think this one's a little bit of a pipe dream. Not gonna lie. I mean, if they pulled it off, that's like an A+. If they pulled off this trade, that is a disgusting win. This one actually is pretty good. Maybe I'm selling Elvis pretty high. Maybe I am selling him pretty high. And then Cade Smith for, I mean, I'd probably do that too. Would that be the A- to A deadline? Well, the Gallen, you got 3 relief pitchers. Hold on, is Pavin Smith a relief pitcher? I'm gonna just out myself. No, he's first baseman. Not bad. I might have just out myself. See, it's a really good bat. Don't get me wrong. I'm just wondering where he plays. You know what I'm saying? Because like, yeah, Unk and DH spot. Oh, I can play a little outfield. Okay, word. I'm not too familiar with Pavin Smith. Not gonna lie, folks. Whenever it goes to NL, my knowledge of like, you know, the ongoings of like guys that are, you know, yeah, like this guy's actually pretty nice. Damn. Hello. Yeah, no, it would never happen with that trade. Now I'm really looking at it. I don't think that's ever going to happen. No. I mean, yeah, would that be an A deadline? Yeah, I mean, you guys got for control. Yeah, no, it would be an A deadline. There you go. Shout out to you. Thank you for your question. You guys let us know. Would that be an A deadline? A- to A deadline? Let us know. I'm going to pull up, we got some more coming in here. We got some more questions coming here. If you guys want to submit a question in the mailbag and talk about it with everybody here on the live stream, click that link in the details. Let's do it. We've got 205 people in here. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe, Blue Jays today. I think I'm pretty sure we're about 5 subscribers away from 31.9K. Help us get there, guys. We'd really appreciate it. I've been talking for the last little bit, so I'd really appreciate it. Ooh, I'm reading here before I bring it up. Okay, word. I like this, Daniela. Daniela's got a question in here. I'm bringing it up because we've kind of gotten off this conversation. Actually, we've gotten away from this conversation because I think I knew the answer. I have an answer for this, so this is what I'll tell you why. Everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" Stay tuned. You'll find out. Daniela Castro, longtime Blue Jays Today member, YouTuber, subscriber. Yeah, I guess you're a YouTuber too. Welcome in. Daniela saying, do you see Ross trading away anyone on the roster, and who is most likely to get traded? Okay, I like that. Because the first part of that question, do I see Ross trading anyone on the roster? You guys also put your thoughts down below as I take a sip of water here. Do you see Ross trading anyone? I see him potentially. I could see Will Wagner going. I could see them flipping Will Wagner. Absolutely. Because it's like, I said, again, like where does Will Wagner play on this roster? Barshner's a guy. They love Ernie Clement. Jimenez, when he's back, is going to be there. Will Wagner's going to be gone. Davis Schneider's been very good. I could see him flipping Will Wagner. But again, Will Wagner's more of like a throw-in piece. If you think about what we got in return for Yusei Kikuchi, it was Loper Fido, Jake Bloss, Will Wagner. Like they just packaged 3 dudes to get 2 months of Kikuchi. At the time, we're like, wow, that's a steal. Honestly, probably was a pretty good trade. I mean, we won't know until another 4 or 5 years from now. But I could see Wagner getting flipped again. People in here saying Bo. Yeah, Bo's not getting traded. You got to be a troll if you're saying Bo's getting traded. Jimenez. Yeah, see, Jimenez is like his value is so bad right now. Like again, would be like a throw in for something with low value. Varsho not getting traded. And nope. That's you gotta be trolling. Yeah, Stuart, what are you doing? Yeah, no, I would see Will Wagner, someone on the current roster, getting traded. I like that question. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that would get traded. No. I think they need everybody else. I think they're going to keep Davis. At first, I was thinking they would trade, Rodin, if you want to talk about guys on 40, man. I would say Rodin. I think they like Davis too much. Because I got to also give credit to Whit Merrifield. And that's why I love having Whit Merrifield on the podcast. By the way, guys, we're planning to have Whit Merrifield on every single week. As long as his schedule is good. He's supposed to come on to our show every single week, every Friday. I was actually going to make this announcement tomorrow, but I'll make it today. We're now going to move our Fridays Blue Jays Today shows to 1:30 to accommodate for Whit Merrifield. So Whit Merrifield's coming on every single Friday, and you'll have a chance to ask him a question just like you're doing now for me. Submit to the mailbag. I'll bring up a question. You got to be like, for Whit Merrifield, da-da-da-da. So if you want to ask Whit Merrifield a question and hopefully get it read out loud and him talk about it right there live on the podcast, then please keep submitting to the mailbag, and you might get it read on Fridays. But anyways, I digress. My point being, Whit Merrifield brought up last Thursday on our podcast that, trading away guys from this core it's a little bit dangerous. You don't want to piss anybody off. Like if you're good buddies with, I know a lot of them are, with Ernie Clement, you don't really want to trade those kind of guys away. Those are clubhouse dudes. Same with Davis Schneider. Clubhouse dudes. Like middle of a season like that, not really the vibe. Not really the vibe. Jonathan Clase? Oh, I see Jonathan Clase? Yeah, no, he can be traded. He can be flipped. Absolutely. But I like that question. All right, let's get to another one here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to another one. And this is why you don't trade Clement, Nick. Be sure to tell him that next time. I'm sure he's never heard that before. Get with it. Yo, scrambles with the absolute goated slogan/title for every single Friday stream. Get with it Fridays. That's goated. That's a goated title, man. Get with it Fridays. Anyways, that was amazing. All right, let's circle back to the Keller conversation. Get with it Fridays. Yo, it's Get with it Fridays. Whit's a funny dude, by the way. I really like Whit. The more I talk to him, the more I'm like, this dude is just funny. He's like one of those dudes that's like if you play ball with, and he's like, you could chirp a little. You know what I mean? And he's good at, he's like, you kind of like to flex a little, but you're like, it's funny you get a reaction on him. He's kind of funny like that. I like Whit. Hey, shout out to Sixth Inning Stretch, where Whit and Lindsay are getting Kevin Gosman. I almost said Kevin Pillar. Jesus. Getting Kevin Gosman on the podcast. That's a vibe. All right, we got a question here from Rat Trap 316. Circling it all back to Mitch Keller. Can you get Keller and Bednar in two different transactions without Nimmala in any? I feel like, I would never say no, because we kind of did that with Seattle when we traded away Justin Turner and Jimmy Garcia. It was two different transactions. It just happened at different times. So I'll never say no. Sure. But they might push for Nimmala and say, hey, they might push and have that deal there. We don't really know what the rumblings is, but to answer your question, they could, and they could not. It all depends on how the deadline shapes up. If they're, I don't know if the Blue Jays are looking at another relief pitcher somewhere, another starting pitcher, and they really are prioritizing those guys over one of these two guys, then yeah, I believe it. What is the dog man? Man wanted to win. He did want to win. Yeah, and, you know, now I get closer to these, you know, starting to hear the players, you know, what they had to say about that 2023 year, 2022 year. Oh, they believed they were going to win the World Series, man. They thought they were going to win it all, and they wanted to. So you can never say that they didn't try. They absolutely tried. Okay, I think... I see, Drew Gamer, you've got an... Oh, they haven't updated the farm yet. It's very outdated. You should use Baseball America version because it's more accurate. Word. So they got JoJo Parker third. I won't bring it all up because I don't think it will actually fit on my page. But you got JoJo Parker third. Okay, Drew Gamer. Shout out. What do you guys think? How many more? You guys want to do a few more? You let me know. That's right, Ryan Bennett. I got it right here, buddy. I got it right here. Boom. Ryan Bennett saying there were rumblings of Orioles trading Soto and another reliever to Toronto. Boom. There you go. Well, it's not that they're trading them, but that the Blue Jays are in talks. And I think someone took that and like made it bigger than it was. I mean, Hector already kind of makes. I respect Hector a lot. Shout out to our boy Hector. He does like to make things bigger than they are maybe sometimes. But all depends on how you interpret it. Because Hector Gomez, you know, he's smart. He's a smart man. He gets you to look at his stuff, right? Yes, please. All right, bet. Let's get another question in here. I'm going to pull it up. What do you guys think of these live streams? Because we mentioned that we do more of these where it's just we sit down, we're chatting, you know. Because we'll do like our Blue Jays Today show, and it's like, you know, we got a formula, you know, what do you think about that? What do you think of that? And a structure to it, where it's like these ones are just more chill. You know, like I had a bit of structure to begin this, and now I'm just like we're kind of just spitballing, kind of just chatting it up. All right, we got education. Yo, shout out to education. Donated last night. What up? I like these streams, says Daniela. Word. Because these were like the, well, even, I would probably say this is even more structured than the wine on wines, but these were like the wine on wines that we used to have back in the day, you know, except less. I'm not having wine. You know what I'm saying? Where's the wine? Also, I probably should do this. I just realized. I got to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video. So shout out to Betway, everybody. Hey guys, time for a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code down below or click the link in the description to join the action. Available in Ontario only. Must be 19 years older to participate. And guys, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content. Shout out to Betway. Thank you. You're absolutely legendary, Betway. Yo, someone also, little sidebar. You know I hate when people say this. But someone in a video was like, I was enjoying your content up until the ad read. Because of that, I've unfollowed. and I'm like, I just wonder who those, like, what world is this person coming from? Like, what did you just arrive on planet Earth? Do you not realize that I need to rip those reads because I need to pay my bills? Like, this is my only source of income, guys. All I do is some acting on the side. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, really? Where do you get off? You know what I'm saying? You get some honey for that throat? Yeah, I actually started. I was feeling it earlier today. You know what it is? It's the back-to-back Blue Jays games that we went live for. It was the back-to-back Blue Jays games. And I was screaming a lot, man. I can't control it. Well, the Jays get me going. All right. I was getting to a question, and then I got sidetracked by Betway. Did Verlander actually get his first win of the season? That's pretty crazy. All right, education in here with the question saying the Blue Jays could trade some prospects, Barriera, Dallas. Oh, shout out to our boy Shad Dallas. He was on the podcast. And Jimenez to get Ryan McMahon from the Rockies. That feels like a bit of a stretch. No, not going to lie, education. I think they'd want a little bit more for Ryan McMahon, not just our garbage. Colorado gets young guys to help rebuild. Toronto gets strong lefty bat and a great defender at third base, locked into 2027, and they don't lose anyone from the main squad. I mean, look, I like Ryan McMahon. Bit of a harder fit nowadays, but I I would never say no to a Ryan McMahon. I just think you're going to have to give up a little bit more. Because of what you're saying, you got the control. The bat, see, I thought he was doing better this year. He's been like that, eh? He's just been a mid-700 guy. You know what? I'm not even going to lie. I don't want Ryan McMahon. That feels like an awkward fit. Here's why. Okay, he plays third, second, and first. All right. Who's at third? Ernie. Great defender. Not as good as a bat, though. But you got Addison Barger. You know what I'm saying? I'd have that guy. And this guy bats .219. You know? And then, second base, obviously, Jimenez. And first base, you have Vlad. And yeah, honestly, I'm going to say no. Thank you for the question. I'm going to say no. Even if it would be dirt cheap. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Respectfully, but thank you.
Hey guys, time for a quick shout out to
shout out to Betway yet again. Let's go. That's always a mistake on my end. I'm going to do one more question. Okay. Shout out Drew Gamer. Drew Gamer's full of the questions. Sorry, y'all. Boop. One more question. Coming in from Drew Gamer. Putting it up on the screen. I'm doing work. All right, Drew Gamer in here with less of a question and more of just a piece of information for us to nibble on. Drew Gamer saying Ken Rosenthal said the Royals are looking for controllable outfielders for Seth Lugo. We have that in spades. Lugo would be the new Price, an unrestricted free agent, former Cy Young finalist on a bad team. It is the best UFA option. Okay, well, hey, maybe I'll package something here. Let me cook. Let me cook. Here's a deal. Seth Lugo definitely would start game 1, right? Definitely would start game 1. Seth Lugo for, hear me out, Alan Roden, we need to send a top prospect, don't we? We got to send a top prospect, don't we? Alan Roden and Ricky Tiedemann, that package. What do you guys think? Would that get it done? Ricky Tiedemann and Alan Roden for Seth Lugo? I think it might. What do you guys think? I think it gets it done. For 2 months of Seth Lugo? What do you guys think? I'm waiting for you guys. 100%? Lugo for Roden, Lopito, Tiedemann? Yeah, I could see that too. That would definitely get it done, I'd say. Yeah. Cool. I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. What would it take to get Keller? Well, it depends on what they want. I would say Arelis Martinez gets it done. Probably Arelis Martinez and some, like maybe him and like, I don't know, Kyle Steven, you throw in like a pitcher or some kind, like maybe you get a package that and oh yeah, Johnny King's been cooking, eh? What's Johnny King doing this? I'm digressing, y'all. Clase, Roden, and Shrek. Yeah, I forgot about Clase actually. Yeah, Clase, you could toss Clase in there. Bastardo and Clase. It's going to take Namala. Namala would get it done for sure. Like, for sure. Because I think that would be a smash accept if I was Pittsburgh. Okay, Johnny King. Ooh, that whip in single A, though. 13 innings, he's a bust. I'm just kidding. All right, guys, I think that's where I'm going to end the stream right here. But, guys, I really appreciate y'all coming out for the 200 guys that are still here. Thank you so much, guys, for your questions. It's been a blast. I'm sure we're going to do this again. We're going to have a podcast coming out tomorrow. Maybe a live stream at the night. You never know. Definitely going to go live tomorrow or on Friday with Whit Merrifield. And going to watch the game. Going to have some brewskis, but don't tell our sponsors that. Have a little bit of brewski action on the Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday. Sunday, we're doing a live stream. Saturday, I'm going to do a little bit one of these style videos, but more formal, breaking it all down and whatnot. But anywhere in between. Blue Jay rumor heating up. Blue Jay about to make a trade. Blue Jay made a trade. You know we're going to be live right here on Blue Jays today, all the way up until the trade deadline. I'm literally not leaving this apartment other than going golfing tomorrow. That's the one time, and then I'm back, and then I'm here for good. Okay, but guys, thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for likes, and hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, go Jays, go! Let's go.